Okay, right now, this is a beta test program called Bridging the Gap. I'm here in Hong Kong, and sitting next to me, actually, it's quite far. It's Monique Rose. She is a speech pathologist based in Toronto. And we had a program called Bridging the Gap around 25 years ago when we did it in a multicultural radio station called Chin Radio. Bonnie, it's good to have you appearing at this channel called the Chin channel. Now, with technology, we have visual as well. Isn't it great?
Yes, it's amazing. I'm always amazed at what we can do. And here I am seeing you 25 years later, and
Yeah.
we're doing this again, and it's fabulous. I'm really enjoying it a lot.
Technically, it's more than 25 years. I think we did the first episode in 92, 93.
Oh my God. We're not that old.
Yeah, no, we're not that old. No.
No, we're not.
So when we created the program called Bridging the Gap, there was an influx of immigrants from Taiwan and Hong Kong, more so from Hong Kong because of the 1997 issue. Now, there's also a sense of, I would say, emergency going on, as you know as well. There's a lot of changes politically in Hong Kong, and people are kind of leaving Hong Kong to the Five Eyes countries, meaning UK, Canada, US, New Zealand, and Australia. And they all have different accents. I find the Northeast accent and also the Midwest accent the easiest to understand. Would you agree with
Yes.
that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the accent is the easiest to understand. When people come to me, that's what they usually ask me for. They say, I'm good at English, and absolutely, people from Hong Kong and China are very good at English, and it's very helpful in immigrating. However, sometimes the accent is hard to understand, and sometimes the idioms that we use, the expressions, those are very handy to know because it helps you understand others and it helps you express yourself really accurately, and they're fun.
Right. Now, we did it 25 years ago, and then we had some very fun time by doing it. And then usually after the 15-minute, 20-minute radio program, people will call into the radio station and ask for more because they want remedial sessions of sorts. So I guess maybe we can think of some examples, since this is just a beta test, episode 1, right? You know, a lot of people have different ideas of how to pronounce different words and then saying different things. I know, like in Hong Kong, people like to use the word double confirm, but technically it's not quite correct, right? And people keep using it.
You know, it's not the way we would say it in North America. We would say, please reconfirm, like all one word, reconfirm. Means just make sure that you got the message. Let me know again. If a person says double confirm, if they said that to me or wrote it, I would completely understand it. I would understand that you want me to tell you 2 times, that's what double means, that you got my message. I would understand it, but we never use it. We don't, it's not a real idiom, but so I would understand it, but it's not exactly correct. But to be exactly correct, reconfirm is the right word, in writing or in speaking.
So things just got transformed to some shape or form. People sometimes say like triple confirm, quadruple confirm, but it's not quite correct, right?
I haven't heard that one, but it means the same thing. I mean, triple confirm means I really want to know if you got the message. You got to tell me 3 times that you got it.
But double confirm, they kind of use it here in Hong Kong a lot, but it's not quite correct. Yeah.
It's not correct in Canada or the US. Right? Because idioms change a little bit from country to country too. So that sometimes, like if I go to Australia or New Zealand or England, I hear them using idioms that I don't use, and I understand it, but I still wouldn't use it. like double confirm. I wouldn't use it. So we understand each other, but definitely in a conversation, a person that may not understand double confirm. Certainly they wouldn't understand triple confirm.
Right. Now, you speak English, and English is your mother tongue. Definitely. I want to ask you, if you go to New Zealand or Australia or some parts of the UK, or you have friends from these three countries, do you find it sometimes difficult for you, even as a native speaker, to understand their English?
Good question. I don't find it difficult, but I find that it takes a bit of time to tune in or to listen to the way they speak and understand what they're saying, because the accent is very different. But I'll tell you something interesting. The very first person I ever hired to work with me as a speech pathologist in Toronto was from the UK, was from England. And we were both speaking the same language, but sometimes I didn't know what she was saying, and sometimes she didn't know what I was saying. Right. And that's because of the idioms. So I remember one day she said to me, "Bonnie, do you have a lift scheme?" I had no idea what that was. And she said, "Bonnie, yeah, a carpool."
Okay.
A carpool. So, yes. So that isn't about accent as much as it is about idioms. Each country has their own idioms, and once you learn them, like reconfirm, once you learn them, then you can use them, and then people understand you a lot better. Yeah. Also, the pronunciation matters too. Not so much amongst Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the US, and even England. We all have different accents, but we can understand each other. But the idiomatic expressions are really different, like lift scheme. And so those are the things that if somebody is coming from Hong Kong to settle in Canada, it's good to know the language, of course, but it's good to know the idioms so that people don't look at you like blank, and then you have to explain yourself. And it's fun. It's fun to learn them.
I thought it's some sort of an RRSP scheme that got changed the name. Lift scheme.
Well, maybe. And also idioms evolve as well. Like there are probably a lot of technical idioms that there are probably a lot of technical idioms that have come in the last 10 years because we're using technology all the time. For example, somebody might say to me, do you do any work with the .coms? .coms? Like, what is that? Okay, I think, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, tech companies. So that's what I mean about idioms evolve. We would not have used that idiom 20 years ago because those companies didn't exist.
Right. So
or another one is message me. They'll say, message me. Nobody says phone me anymore. They say message me.
Yeah.
Message me, it could mean many things, like email, but it means not telephone.
Yeah. And in Hong Kong, most people would say just WhatsApp me. And I force you to downloading the WhatsApp.
Yes, I told you, Ed, I like technology. I downloaded it. I did. But if someone said WhatsApp me, I would understand it because I know WhatsApp thanks to you. But not everybody would understand it. You'd have to actually have the app to know what they're even meaning.
Yes.
Send me a message is more straightforward.
Like since this is just the first beta test, like episode, there are so many other things that we touch on. I remember a quarter century ago, for instance, the word colonel. People say it differently in Hong Kong. Sometimes colonel. Colonel Sanders, Colonel Sanders.
Yes, that's actually a very strange word. However, English is full of words like that. In English, for the most part, like 80% of the time, what you see is the way you speak. For example, the word dog, D-A-G. You just follow the symbol, the letter symbols, and you can pronounce it. But sometimes, like colonel, it's completely off. So you would spell that C-O-L-O-N-E-L. Naturally, you would say colonel. However, it's colonel, which from the point of view of the spelling makes no sense whatsoever. You just have to know it. I'll give you some other examples that come up all the time. The word thought. I thought I would go shopping. T-H-O-U-G-H-T, thought. If you follow the rules of English, you would say thought. But actually, one of the rules of English is that 80% of the time it's the way it looks, and 20% of the time it isn't. So in order to know that that word is thought, I thought I would come and visit you today.
Yeah.
You just have to know it and memorize it. Another example is walk. Let's go for a walk, W-A-L-K. Not let's go for a walk. The L is silent. In the word comb, comb your hair, C-O-M-B, comb. No, we say comb. And I meet a lot of people from Hong Kong who naturally would look at that and say comb or walk. And in fact, as I say, 20% of the words, somebody just has to tell you which sounds are silent.
So they put so much stress at the end, right? So that's why as well.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes. But that's not a bad thing. What I find, naturally, it's better to not put too much stress at the end, of course.
Becomes not too natural if you put too much stress.
Yes, yes. But here's another interesting thing about that I find is that when a person from Hong Kong or China is learning English, very often they drop the endings of the words, or it sounds like it's dropped to me. So for example, I went to the store, went to the store. Sometimes I hear, I went to the stove. I went to the stove. I don't hear went. The T is missing and the R is missing. And actually, the accurate way to speak is to never drop the endings. But to your other point, which was a very good one, you don't want to make them too strong, not too weak. So that by putting on the endings, but just the right way, a person sounds very fluent.
Yeah.
And people can learn to do that very easily.
Yeah, it's much better to be fluid and sound more natural than, I don't know, like if you enunciate every single word, then it sounds like you are, as if you are
robotic.
Yeah.
Like a robot.
Yeah.
Like a robot. Yeah, you're right. And that takes practice and it takes listening skills. Not just listening. Of course, when you come to a new country, if you put the TV on or you just go shopping, you're always going to be listening to people who speak like they're from that country. But you need to like really listen. Like let's say I was teaching somebody about putting on the word endings, not too weak, not too strong. Then you can listen for that, and then you start to hear it. And when you can hear it, you can imitate it much better than reading a lesson from a book.
And sometimes
There's
even
all sorts of tricks.
Yeah, right. Sometimes even for native speakers, they run into the problem of using the word like. They shouldn't use too much of like, right?
Yes, yes.
Both native and non-native.
Yes, good one. So it's okay. So for example, let's say you said to me, Bonnie, what did you do last Christmas? I'm saying last Christmas because nobody knows what they're going to do this Christmas, but with the pandemic. But okay, and I went to the shopping mall, and then I went to the movies, and I wanted to go to a party. I like parties, and okay.
Too many likes.
Yes. Or sometimes people say so, or like, or I went to the mall, and then I went to the meeting, and I wanted to go to the party. This is like, I just use like, this is a habit, and people who do it don't even realize that they're doing it.
Just
it's
bad
like it's like and people always say to me, I want to get rid of it. Yes, you can get rid of it. It just takes some focus and practice.
Have to be
but it sounds very unprofessional, actually.
Right.
Which is, yeah, you were saying?
Just have to be a little bit more conscious when you say too many likes in a sentence. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and the other thing that's interesting in that regard is that we pick up or we imitate the people who we talk to most of the time. So if people around you are saying like and and then we start to imitate it and do it too. And you don't even realize that you're doing it. But giving presentations and speaking at meetings, it's really important to get rid of those habits.
Right. Now, time is almost up, but let me ask you something. How have things changed over the last 25 years? Doesn't mean that I haven't been back to Toronto.
Well, I have more lines in my face. You don't. Yes.
Well,
where were you?
Like we all age, which is,
yes.
We all age gracefully, but
yes, we
things
do.
Change a lot, especially in the last few weeks or so. I heard you guys are having some sort of shutdown. Even anything north of Steeles, it's shut down now, right?
Yes. Yeah, we are definitely on lockdown, and it's just, it's just what we have to do. We have to do it. People can't let so many people get sick. We can't allow this to spread. People are dying, people are getting sick. It's what we all have to do.
Yeah.
And what, I'm getting very used to grocery delivery. I haven't been inside a grocery store for quite a while.
Right.
But you do what you have to do. I'm sure. What are things like where you are?
It's quite unprecedented because we cannot go to a restaurant to eat.
Yeah,
no dining, no in-house dining after 6 p.m. So things have changed a bit, but you guys are even more strict. I think not all the malls are open, right? I heard like Markham, Thornhill area, Richmond Hill were open, but now it's a total lockdown, just like what.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's better than people dying. It really is. I mean, I hate to say it, but one thing I feel very fortunate about is with technology, I can still work. And some people can, depends on what you do, and I can still meet you, I can see clients. And so if a person can use technology to work, they're very lucky. If they can't, it's a problem, but it's better than being sick.
I heard in Ontario, some doctors, actually, they have their diagnosis through Zoom, for instance.
Yes. Yeah. They're doing that a lot. A lot.
Excellent.
Yeah. And and we don't really know when it's going to be over. Not really. What do you think?
I think you guys will have the vaccines. I was just watching Al Jazeera, which is a Middle East network. I like to watch Al Jazeera because it covers both the eastern side of things, meaning like Asia, and also the Western Hemisphere and Europe. So if I watch CNN, it's very much US centric, or CBC, right? So if I watch Al Jazeera, they have Middle East issues, and then Europe, and then Asia, and North America, South America.
Yeah.
I think you guys are having the vaccines soon coming from Pfizer.
Yes. We apparently, I think February, but we'll see. And they're giving it to the healthcare workers first, which they should. Yeah. And then people in nursing homes, and they have a plan for giving it. What about you?
Well, we will have the vaccine, but vaccines, it's to boost up your immune system. doesn't mean it's a cure. So don't get us wrong. You know,
Yes.
it boosts up your system so you don't get sick from COVID that easily.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, I'm expecting to be working at home until about May or June, and I just, you know, I'm expecting that. It's not the easiest, but it's possible. So better than getting sick.
Yeah, that's right. And when things go back to normal, I look forward to seeing you again in Toronto or Asia. Maybe we should do an Asian tour on Bridging the Gap. Who knows, right?
I would be happy to do that. I would enjoy doing that. It'd be great.
We were talking about that a few years ago.
We were. Yes, we were. You know, I'd be happy to do that. I love going to Asia, and I have many clients from many cities there, and I've known you for over 25 years, so it would be fun.
Yeah, too long.
Yeah.
But I wish the audience like this beta test program. It's called, once again, Bridging the Gap. We did it a quarter century ago at Chin Radio and afterwards at Fairchild Radio. And then we had quite a good following, I would say. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I'm not bragging, but it's quite true. We had a good following.
No, we did a great job, and we reached a lot of people. Yeah. And I love it when people phone in, or nobody phones anymore, text in or WhatsApp in and ask us questions. And I would invite all the listeners to do that because we love to answer the questions, to connect with people.
Yeah. So please drop a comment at the YouTube comment link, anyone who is watching our show. So everyone, wherever you are, you have a nice day.
Yes. And thank you, Ed. Wonderful to do this with you again. See you next time.
Yeah.